Guys, welcome to Dan's IT Network. And for today's video, we'll talk about how to configure named access lists, okay, or the NACL. All right. Well, the standard access list and extended access list is quite similar to the named access list, okay. Well, if you do not know how to configure a standard access list and extended access list, is you might want to watch my video tutorial. Okay, I'll post the link on the description below. Okay, because you need to know how to configure first the standard and the extended, okay, before you can proceed with the named access list. Okay, all right, so our goal in here is um, we'll apply the name access list on this network design, but we'll focus first on the standard. Okay, so a standard access list, and we'll make it, named access list. All right. Okay, so let's proceed then. So on this network design, everything is working fine. Okay, so they can actually communicate to each other. This PC can communicate to this PC and also to this server. Okay, and I already registered all of their IP addresses. Okay, everything is good. And on this router is there is a default route on this router going to this way, and there is also another default route on this router going this way. Okay, and if you do not know how to configure a default route, is I will also post the link on the description below on how we can configure default route. Okay. All right. So everything is working fine again on this network. So we'll apply the name access list, but we'll use the standard one first. Okay. So our goal in here to this PC, all right, will deny this PC to access this server, okay, and we will permit this PC then to allow in accessing this server, okay. We'll do that. All right, and to configure the name access list, since we'll be using the standard one, okay, it needs to be closest to the destination. So this is the client PC. This is the source, okay, and the server is the destination, okay, because it's a server. All right, so it's close to the destination. We need to create a rule on this router one, okay. So we have two things to do. Number one is we need to create a rule and restriction first, and we're going to create it on inside this router, okay. And then after creating rules and the restriction, we need to apply it, okay, to this gigabit 0/1, okay. It needs to go out to this gigabit 0/1 port to reach this server. Okay. All right. And let's do that. I'll open this router. Okay. And I'll go to the command line interface. I'll hit enter to get started and type enable to go to privilege mode, and then comp T to go to the global config mode. All right. And in creating named access list, okay, we need to type first the IP and then access list. Okay. While in creating standard access list, though, well, we don't need to include the IP. We can type access list in here. Let's say, for example, I'll type it. So access dash list, and then if it's standard, it should be from 1 to 99. Okay, well, I can put 1 in here, okay, and then space, I can type question mark. As you see that I have here three options. Okay. All right, so while in the name access list, I need to put the IP, okay, and then access dash list, okay, and then let's type here question mark, and I do have the option here to choose which one I will use, the extended or the standard. So we'll use the standard, okay, and I'll put here standard, okay, space question mark, and I need to give it a name, okay, because that is why it's a name access list, okay. But you can put number though, but it's useless, right? If you will put number 1 to 99, then don't use this name then if you're just gonna use the 1 to 99. So because the reason why we're using this name access list is to put a name, okay, in this word. So let's just say we'll give it a name rule and then number one. Okay, so rule one. I'll hit enter. Okay, and then now I am on the this portion. So config to config dash this is a standard, okay, and then name access list. So I am now on the standard name access list, okay, and I'll put here question mark, okay, for you to see what are the available commands that we can use. So we can use this deny, same thing. We can use a permit. Okay. All right. Since our first goal is to deny this PC in accessing this server, okay, which is the 50.10. Okay. So let's let's pick the deny in here. I'll type deny, okay, and then space question mark, and then now it asks for the network IP address, okay, or any source host, or if I just want to put a single source host, then I can do that. But this time, let's use this network, okay. So since this IP address is a 192.168.2.2, it's on the network 192.168.2.0. We'll do that, okay. So 192.168.2.0, and then space question mark, okay, and it wants me to include the subnet mask, okay, but it should be the wildcard bits, okay. It should be the inverse of the subnet mask. All right. So normally subnet mask is like this: 255.255.255.0, right? But we need to put it on the inverse mode, okay. It should be 0.0, sorry, that 0.0.255, okay. And we'll do that. I'll erase this, and then 0.0.0.255, okay, and then space question mark, and we don't have nothing to input though because this is a standard. It will only deny and permit just the source. Okay, well, good to go. And I'll hit enter, and let's put another rule. Okay, the second one is we want this PC to be permitted and accessing this server. All right, so we'll do that. So I'll put here a permit instead. Okay, permit, and then space, then question mark, and this time let's use the host. All right, I'll use this host. I'll type host, okay, and then space question mark. Now I need to type the IP address on this host. Okay, so it's 192.168.3.2. It's a single host. All right, so we don't need to put any subnet mask in here. So 192.168.3.2. All right, that's it. And then space, then question mark. As you see, is we don't have any other commands to input though. Okay, all right, and the this command now is already a complete command. All right, I'll hit enter, okay, and then I'll hit Control C in the keyboard, and I'll type here right to save the configuration. And then now, since we already create the rule and I mean rules and restriction though, okay, so it's time for us now to apply them. Okay, to apply them, it should be close to the destination. Okay, it should this router. Okay, so the rule is inside this router. It needs to go out to this gigabit 0/1. Okay, to reach the server, and we'll do that. So to apply it, um, let's go to the global config mode by typing the comp T. Okay, so I am on the global config mode, and then interface. What's the port? It's a gigabit 0/1, right? Okay, so gigabit 0/1. Okay, and then I just have to type here IP space access dash group. Okay, and then the space, and then let's type question mark. Okay. So in here is well, in standard though, we can type here 1 to 99 or 1 to 199, right? But since you know what, we create a named access list though, so we can type here name, the name that we create for the access list, which is rule one, right? If you can still remember rule one, and then space question mark. We have two options. It should be in or out. So as I mentioned to you a while ago, this is the where we put the rules, okay, this router one, and then it needs to go out to the 0/1 to reach this server, so it should be out. Okay, I'll type out and then hit enter, and that is good to go. So I'll press Control C on the keyboard to go back to the privilege mode, and then I'll save the configuration by typing right. Okay, and then I'll type here show run to view the running configuration. I'm hitting spacebar now. Okay, well, let's double check the rules that we create. So on this one, so IP access list is standard, all right? And then we create a rule number one instead of the number, right? So it's rule number one, okay? And the first rule is, we deny this network, okay? the 192.168.2.0. Okay, well, just the source. Okay, we don't have any destination. All right, and we permit this host. Okay, the 192.168.3.2. Well, the difference is this is a host. Well, if it's a host, it's just a single host. All right, it doesn't have a subnet mask though, because it's just a single one. Okay, but if it's a network, it needs to have a subnet mask. Okay, but and here is we do not usually put the normal format of subnet mask. It should be the inverse one, which is 0.0.0.255. Okay, and now since the rule is created and we need to apply it. Okay, so to apply it, as I mentioned to you a while ago, it needs to go out on the 0/1 port. So this is the gigabit 0/1, and I put this command IP is space access dash group space rule number one. So this is the rule one. Okay, and then the out. Okay, so rule one. Okay, notice rule one. Okay, and this should be good to go. I'll close this and let's try. Let's try to ping from this PC to server. Then I should not be able to ping the server because it's not allowed. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So desktop. Okay. And then command prompt. And then I'll ping 200.210.50.10. Okay. And I should not be able to ping though. Okay. All right. Destination host unreachable. All right. And let's go on to the next PC. Let's try to ping the server. Desktop. Command prompt. And then I'll ping 200.210.50.10. Okay, and we should be able to ping, and it's going through. All right, so now that's the name access list is working. Okay, and we match it on the standard access list. And it's this video will be configuring the name access list using the extended version. Okay. All right, and we're going to apply the name access list on extended version to this network design. Okay, and this will be our goal. Okay, we'll deny this computer in accessing the this server on the port 80. Okay, when we say port 80, that is the www. It's the World Wide Web. Okay, and on this PC is we will permit this computer to access this server on the port 80. Okay. All right, and to do that, first is that we need to remove the named access list that is configured on this router one. Okay, so we'll do that. So we'll go to this router. Okay, and then Control C to go back to the privilege mode, and then I'll type here show space run. Okay, space bar. Right, so we need to remove this, right, access a list that we create on the previous video. Okay, and to do that, right, I need to go to the comp T to the global config node, and then just have to copy this. All right, copy this. Okay, and then I'll type here no. Okay, and then I'll paste it. So it would say no IP access dash list space standard rule one. Okay, and I'll hit enter. All right, and then I'll hit the Control C on the keyboard, and then I'll save the configuration, and I'll type again show run. Okay, to see if it's still showing. And now that the rules are not showing anymore. Okay, and another thing is on this gigabit 0/1, we need to remove this IP access dash group space rule one space out. All right, so I'm gonna select this. Okay, and I'll copy this. All right, and then let's go onto the gigabit 0/1 port. All right, so I'll type here comp T to go to the global config mode, and then interface gigabit 0/1. All right, and I'll say no in here, then space, then I will paste the command. All right, so no IP access group rule one space out. All right, and there we go. Then Control C again. Let me save the configuration. All right, and then I'll type show run again to view the running configuration to double check if it's still visible. All right, so now, okay, it is not on this job, gigabit 0/1. And that is the way on how you can remove, okay, remove access list. Though you just have to, add no at the beginning and then space, okay, to remove it, to negate it. All right. Okay, there you go. So I'll close this one now, and then we'll apply then the extended access list, okay, on the name. Okay, we'll put the name there. We'll apply this name access list, and since we'll be using a extended on this name access list, well, it should be closest to the source or close to the source. So this is the source, and this is the destination, which is the server. Okay, and anyway, before we configure it, let's try to um, access this server on the port 80. Okay, so that you'll see. So web browser, okay, and so this time is we did not configure anything yet on the name access list. Well, I just want to show you that if we'll try to access this server, okay, then it will go through. So 200.210.50.10, okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry because there is a dot in here. Let me remove the 10 dot. All right. So it should be 200.210.50.10. Okay. And I'll hit go. And you'll see it here. Welcome to Dance IT Network server. It is working, right? And that definitely same thing in here on this PC. If I'll click the web browser, then I should be able to access the port 80 on the server 200.210.50.10. Okay. All right. And let me put the IP address 200.210.50.10. There you go, and it is working. All right. So now let's apply the extended one. It should be closest to the source. So we have two things to do. We need to create a rules and restriction to this router since it's closest to the source. And then after we create the rules and restriction, okay, we need to apply it. All right. And it needs to go out on this interface, the gigabit 0/0, in order for it to reach the server. Okay, so let's create a rule. I'll click this router and then go to the command line interface, and then I'll hit enter to get started. Then enable to go to privilege mode, and then comp T to go to global config mode. All right, so I'll type here IP access. Right, there should be a dash list, okay, space question mark, and then I'll choose the extended. Okay, so I'll type here um, ex, extended. Okay, and then let me spread this, then space question mark. All right, and now we need to put a word. All right, so let's use the same word, the rule one. Okay, so you can put any word or combination in here. Okay, but on this tutorial, let's make it rule one. Okay, and then space question mark, and it should be good to go. I'll hit enter, and now I am on the portion from config. So this is the config, and then extended, okay, and then NACL, the name access list. So I am inside now the extended name access list. All right, so I'll put question mark in here. All right, and the first thing that we need is deny. All right, so we'll deny this PC to access the port 80 in the server. Let's use here the deny. All right, I'll type deny space question mark. Okay, and then what we can use in here is let's use the TCP, okay, because we're blocking port. All right, so I'll type here TCP space question mark, okay, and then we'll just use the host, okay, to input this host ID, the 192.168.2.2. All right, so host, and then space 192.168.2.2 space, and then question mark. So I need to type the uh, IP address of the server, which is the 50.10. Okay, let me just use here the host. Okay, this one host. So host, and then 200.210.50.10. Okay, then space question mark, and then I need to use this command equal. All right, so equal to port 80. Okay, I'll hit enter, and let's create another rule. So we need to permit this PC to access the server, right? So let's do that. So I'll use the same command. I'll use the or I'll hit the up arrow key on the keyboard to use the same command, and I'll just gonna um, change this deny to permit. Okay, and then this IP address, I need to change this to 3.2. Okay, and for the server address, it should be the same thing. All right, and I'll hit enter. Okay, and then we create then the first rule is this one. So let's read it. Okay, so it will deny the TCP on the whole TCP, right? It will deny this IP address, the 2.2, okay, to this server, okay, 50.10 on port 80, okay. While on this other second line, it will permit this IP address 3.2, okay, to the server 50.10 on the port 80, okay. All right, so let me hit Control C on the keyboard and let me save the configuration. So now that the rule and restriction are created, all right, it's time for us now to apply them. All right, well, to apply them, all right, since they are inside the rule number one, all right, so we're just gonna use this port then, the gigabit 0/0, so that we can cover this the two rules that are you know on this on this two source. Okay, so we need to use this gigabit 0/0. So the rules are created on this router, and if we want to apply them, it needs to go out, okay, to this 0/0, okay, in order to reach the server. So let's do that. All right, so I'll type here comp T to go to global config mode, and then interface gigabit 0/0. Okay, and then I need to type this command, IP space access dash group, okay, and then space. It should be the, or I can type question mark for you to see. Well, I can type the number, but we did create a name, right? And the name is the rule one, okay, and then space question mark. So we need to choose out, all right, and then hit enter. So why it is out? Because it needs to go out on this gigabit 0/0 to reach this server, okay. And Control C. Let me save the configuration, and let me run this show run mode again. All right, to see the to view the running configuration. So these are the rules that we create. All right, it's under the IP access list extended. Okay, and rule one. Okay, so these are the two rules that we create then. All right, one is deny and one is for the permit. And as you see here, this www, this stands for 80. Okay, 80 is the www. That's why the computer just registered it as a triple W instead of 80. Anyway, they're just the same though. And to apply the rule, okay, we put this command on the gigabit 0/0, which is IP access group rule one out. All right. So I'll close this and let's try. I'll open this PC and I'll go to the web browser. Okay. And then, all right, it's taking so long. All right, let's wait for it. All right, so I'll type here the IP address 200.210.50.10. Okay, and this is deny, right? Well, we should not be able to reach the server on the port 80. All right, and as you see that it is not going through. Okay, there you go. It's not going through. Okay, and let me close this. Let's go on the next PC, but this time, okay, this should be permitted to access the port 80. Okay, and let's wait for it. It's actually taking so long to open the web browser on this packet tracer. All right. Okay, there you go. All right. Sorry. So it's a 200.210.50.10. Okay. And I'll hit enter. And as you see that it is permitted. So welcome to Dance IT Network Dash Server. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dance IT Network to get more updates about Cisco CCNA. All right. Well, please do. All right. And If you like this video, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dance IT Network, to get more updates about Cisco CCNA. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or requesting for any video tutorial, then you can email me danceitnetwork@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.